So, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon appear to be quite broken. There's already been a lot of glitches that have been found in these games, and it's mostly just like quality assurance. Like, someone didn't test that, and now the game is kind of weird. Well, it looks like a new one has been discovered, and this one was actually tweeted at me. Honestly, what else do you have to say? At Verlisify, I'm stuck. Armando appears to be stuck. So apparently, you can get trapped in by the Bewear at the battle tree if you engage with it at the wrong position. So yeah, if you just kind of like get over here with the Bewear, bad things can happen. So I've actually got this to happen a few times, just not on camera when I was testing it out. As you can see, the Bewear has a lot of affection towards me. That this whole Pokemon interaction feature is a little weird that, you know, once you've interacted with a Pokemon enough, they'll like follow you around and stuff. They show the heart when you get close, and you can kind of call them over. Now, what I've learned is that this isn't necessary. Like, the first time I interacted with the Bewear right here, I ended up getting stuck. Because Bewear will run over to you, and then if you stare at it, it'll come closer. Now, depending on like what happens when it comes closer, some weird things will happen. So this might trap me or it might not. So I just end up stroking it. If you stare at it, sometimes that happens. But when you get that heart, sometimes the Bewear doesn't back up enough, and you're stuck. All right, there we go. First try. So it's that simple. Like, you don't even have to do any weirdness to it. Just interacting with the Bewear on this tile is pretty GG because this whole interaction feature, I don't know if you guys have wasted time with it. It's completely useless. It's not like the Pokemon eventually gives you an item. It's just kind of like you make a little Pokemon friend on one of the routes, and just by pressing A, sometimes Bewears come running up to me, wants me to stare at it, wants me to pet it, turning right, turning left, playing peekaboo. But the staring at it actually kind of like entices it to come closer a lot more often from what I've seen. Waving goodbye. And I guess the way out of it is by changing positions. So I don't know if that's like the reverse soft lock kind of idea, but that's pretty strange. Also, if you end up getting stuck, you can Poke Ride out of it. It's just kind of like one of those things like, didn't someone test this? That yeah, Bewear is going to be able to block you in. And I'm wondering how many other things are like this in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. That what we already saw from my glitches video, a lot of people have been leaving a lot of comments saying they've had some weird things happen. It's mostly just through not testing it. People didn't even use Ion Deluge, and apparently Plasma Fists ended up breaking the game just a little bit. And then this happens. So I'm wondering if there's any other positions, like other Pokemon that can follow you around, other trainers that have, like, new areas in the game that have been thoroughly tested that end up getting you trapped. But yeah, I think that time Bewear backed up enough. So sometimes you don't get stuck, other times you do, and it's just weird. And the whole Bewear thing isn't even like one of the only glitches that have been found since I made my video. Like, another cool side effect about making my weird glitches in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon video is that there's a lot of comments about people just talking about these games being broken. And it seems like there is a theme here that a lot of the new things in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon just don't work. Like when we have this guy right here who just keeps running into you. This seems like it should have been tested and then caught out pretty early, but it ended up not happening, and then that means the Ditto Chef guy is just going to keep running in place. Same with the Bewear. It's like, oh, they didn't realize where these new models are going to go, and then bad things ended up happening. We have this right here. Found a glitch in the battle agent place where the opponent used Skydrop and it worked, but on the second turn, activated my red card and my Pokemon was not there anymore. So there was like an invisible Pokemon glitch based off of Skydrop. So it looks like that Skydrop is broken once again. That we have like the gravity infinite battle glitch. We also have the ghost Pokemon, zombie Pokemon glitch, and now the invisible Pokemon glitch. So Skydrop seems like that's also pretty broken in Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. And also something else I want to talk about with this game is the Poppin'. The Poppin' is just I mean, look at that guy. And I think like a lot of this has been incredibly noticeable that whenever I'm just kind of like walking around Howley City, people are popping in all over the place. Whenever there's an exaggerated or changed camera angle, it also gets pretty bad. And then we have this right here, Melee Beach. It's a new area, and there is like such a large expanse that there's like this little corner over here. So for the most part, the guy, he's pretty visible, he's doing all right, and then you go over there, and then he's just gone. Like, see, the camera works in a lot of the other situations, or at least you stay close enough to where the Poppin' doesn't matter, but then right there, the guy just, like, comes in and vanishes, and it's the same for Howley City. It's just, I've seen a lot of complaints about that as well, because it's pretty distracting with how bad it is in these games. I'm wondering if that's just because they changed the camera angle to try to make the game look a bit more interesting. A lot of the graphical upgrades are causing like more stress on the system, so that means they have to kind of like manage the character resources better. But I mean, that's something I've also noticed. And there's just a good amount of comments of people talking about weird things that are happening, you know? If you're on Pony Breaker Coast and on Sharpedo, you can hit the girl on the edge of the rocks, clip into her, and then teleport. Nothing super special about this glitch, except if you go in the exact right spot, you can get off Sharpedo in the water, and it'll teleport you back to land. So that means you can actually, like, stand on the water until the game, like, freaks out and then throws you back on land. Also, Joe Merrick has been talking about some interesting stuff as well. So for some reason, you can't add Totem-sized Rabombi, Marowak, and Araquanid, and Togedemaru into the Pokemon Bank. That's weird, but all of the other Pokemon you can put in, and they're even playable in Pokemon Sun and Moon. So do you know what happens when Totem-sized Pokemon transfer from Sun and Moon? They're still Totem-sized. Now that's cool. And one thing I want to notice is like, wait, how was that not documented in Pokemon Sun and Moon? That through the data mining, this should have been available at some point and then given us some insight into Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. But it looks like these weird little things weren't really that discovered, and you can transfer all of the other ones into the Pokemon Bank, then into your Pokemon Sun and Moon. But Rabombi, Marowak, Araquanid, and Togedemaru just don't fit in. I guess they're flagged as hacked because they do have different sizes and different weights, which would otherwise be impossible, which would show just like hard modification of those Pokemon. So that'd also be really weird if the game accidentally penalized you, like just kind of like thought that you had a modified cartridge when you just had the legitimate Rabombi, Marowak, Araquanid, or Togedemaru. So again, new features. We have Plasma Fist, Breaking Ion Deluge. We have all of these other things that just don't work as well as they should, or just straight up being broken. This one actually pretty crazy. First playthrough of Ultra Moon, I did the Meowth side quest. The model broke during the cutscene. When he turned around, his face stretched across the entire screen, and his body was only a few pixels wide. Turns out, it broke the models of all the Pokemon in the overworld. I have pictures of Mantine on the beach. This was fixed when I saved it and then reloaded it, but it was pretty funny. So I think that that's also another common issue that happens with a lot of games. Like, whenever just models kind of bug out. I'm not going to knock too many points against Pokemon, but I didn't hear about that for Pokemon Sun and Moon. But Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, this new cutscene, this new side quest thing, apparently there's just a chance that the model can get all hung up and do some really freaky stuff. I think we had something similar in Pokemon X and Y, that there was the white Pokemon glitch. So people thought that there were like shiny Pokemon, but they were very special and just fully white color or like desaturated. It was actually just like a skinning glitch to where, yeah, you can have a white Pokemon, but it was just a glitch and nothing really special. And also there's even more comments about some weird things that have been happening. When soft resetting Litten at the start, either for shiny or for good nature, sometimes the screens will go black. The game music will still play, but both screens will be black, but none of the buttons will respawn. One thing to be done is popping out the game cartridge from the back of the 3DS and going to the home screen. That is a pretty serious lock that happens right there. I'm guessing that's just because from like loading all the starter sprites in or something, the game just doesn't want to do it and it doesn't respond well. I've also, I think this was tweeted at to me, or I saw some comments in like some other videos like, yo, Verlis, you go check out whenever you defend your title, that sometimes the model of the character that walks up to you to defend your title kind of bugs out, as we've seen with like other games and stuff, to where just the model looks all twisted and warped and has some strangeness going on. So that's something interesting. And then the Pokemon Wing glitch apparently had Ninjask get burned, which will cause the animation to slow down. While I heal it, occasionally its wings will become frozen. Experience this in Sun and Moon, but I had a similar experience with Cutiefly in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I want to test that one. That actually sounds pretty interesting. So here's the plan. I'm going to use Will-O-Wisp on the Smeargle, and then Smeargle's going to learn Will-O-Wisp, and that's going to go and get all of my Pokemon burned. So I'm going to try this out with the Cutiefly, but when I was going through my boxes looking for Pokemon, Scyther also has some pretty, like, erratic wings. So maybe it's also just based on, like, how wings are programmed. And it looks like this was also an issue in Pokemon Sun and Moon that hasn't been fixed either, so we're going to get this going. Alright, so Cutiefly's burned, going to use a full heal, and see what happens. I'm wondering if, like, oh. I thought, like, when he said periodically, I thought it was actually that, like, it just straight up. Oh, wait, yeah. So, like, randomly just starts and stops. I wonder if this has something to do with the animation cycles. That probably it looks like, wait, I just got hit with the burn tick. Is that what triggers it? I don't know. But yeah, that was a little weird right there. Oh yeah, I got burned again. Oh, that's going to be a problem because, like, now the Smeargle only knows a move that burns me. But I'm going to use full heal again and see if it happens again. So it looks like it's actually not that difficult to replicate. Oh, and now it works fully again. So yeah, I guess it like just kind of stops sometimes and then it doesn't. That is wild. So I want to try this out on the Scyther as well. Now, what I will say about Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon is that the games were very ambitious, and that's not a bad thing. Like, you can look at that Game Freak was trying to deliver us a very positive, a very good Pokemon experience, because we didn't need to interact with the Pokemon. We didn't need to have all of the other features that are in the game. Like, okay, even though the Pokemon interaction isn't that great, it adds immersion. It adds a little bit of more sense to the world. Same with the mini quests. And some of the mini quests are pretty funny, or at least give more depth that weren't in the games originally. So taking what we had and then adding more to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon than we've seen with any enhanced version. So I gotta commend Game Freak for that, but it looks like their plan to take some of the newer staff members. Ooh, there we go, perfect. That's what I was waiting for. I was just waiting for the avoidance. So now the Burn Heal came through, and we're gonna see if the wings end up bugging out. I don't know how frequent it is, if it's every once in a while, but we got it to work with the Cutifly, so that proves it right there. I just feel like it should work with the Scyther as well if it is working with something like the Ninjask. But yeah, we already had from the interview that it is going to be like a newer staff that was working on Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and it is a good business decision. It's a good tactic right there when you're trying to, you know, get them learned about Pokemon on a game that already has a lot of the foundation made, but seems like a lot of newer features aren't kind of working as intended. So hopefully that makes it to where the future Pokemon games will be better, that these mistakes won't be made again once they are discovered and then worked about, and then also more rigorous testing can go through. Pokemon Sun and Moon, and even Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I don't remember too many glitches with those games. Pokemon X and Y had quite a few because you can get stuck in a couple of positions. There was also the save reset glitch that like just completely wiped out your save file if you saved in the wrong place at Lumiose City. So I really hope that the 6th and 7th generations were really good learning experiences for Game Freak as we go into Nintendo Switch, and then hopefully we don't have as many issues that end up arising. But it looks like Scyther's just fine, so it might be something that happens sometimes when you get burned and then try to heal it, not every time you get burned and try to heal it, or it's just like you have to catch it at the right frame for the animation cycle. But I'm actually pretty happy I was able to get on the Cutifly at the very least, so we can kind of show that the games do have some weird things going on with them. I'm actually okay with this because what that tells me is that the Nintendo Switch is getting more attention. The Nintendo Switch game is also going to maybe even be released sooner than we expect because that's where a lot of the work is going in, and that left a little bit of sloppiness for Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I think it does kind of validate the complaints that people have had about it being effectively Pokemon Sun and Moon DLC. That Sun and Moon should have already had all this stuff, and it should have been saved just to kind of push out copies for the enhanced version. But overall, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon is a larger experience than we've ever seen in Pokemon, so I think that's something pretty cool going on, and we'll just kind of see where it goes. Hopefully this doesn't happen again. That's kind of all there is to it. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if you all have a nice day, thank you very much for watching.